What does a typical day? If I ask my daughter, she's always having fun looking at my calendar to find spots where it is open. I'm the Dean of the College of Natural Sciences at Cal State San Bernardino. So I have 10 different departments covering 6 STEM disciplines, all the way biology, chemistry, physics, math, computer science and engineering, and geology. And then I have 4 allied health departments, like kinesiology, nursing, public health, and we're starting a physician assistant program. So the main thing for me is people success. That is, student success is the #1 priority. And then students can't be successful unless our faculty and our staff are successful, our alumni are successful, our administrators are successful. So my primary job is to find resources for everybody to be successful. So that means I have a lot of meetings. I have meetings with the donors, raising funds, talking to funding agencies, talking to legislators or policymakers, etc. So my typical day job is finding resources for everybody in my department or in my college to reach their full potential. So one of the things is that I had to set the vision for the college. So leading the college is the primary thing. And then always talk about the core values, striving for excellence, enhancing diversity, fostering harmony. So a lot of the things that I do is about recruiting, retention, mentoring, and promoting faculty, staff, and of course, with the primary goal being student success. So lots of meetings, responding to emails, responding to DMs. One of the things that I also do daily is take a selfie with Sastry. I have a hashtag selfie with Sastry, so students stop me on the way and take a selfie with me. And every semester, I kind of take a random sample of 5 students to go for lunch and talk to them, etc. So it's a busy day, but it's a fun day. Always go home thinking that I had some impact. So the impact, how my work impacts outside statistics and data science. And in fact, most of my work is outside statistics and data science, because I'm looking at STEM disciplines, training problem solvers for the future and critical thinkers. So my day-to-day job and my job right now is really outside statistics and data science. So I am impacting both STEM disciplines and allied health. We all talk about always having healthy people living on a healthy planet in a healthy economy. So I'm working with people from other sciences. And of course, statistics has prepared me well for that, because statisticians play in everybody's backyard. So we communicate and collaborate with other scientists. So the primary thing is I am working with people outside statistics and data science. But of course, I bring my analytical skills, statistics skills from my day-to-day job, analyzing data about enrollments or about equity gaps, graduation rates. So I'm using statistics, but my impact is actually for all sciences, including health sciences and STEM, etc. I'll say it's my dad. My dad was a mathematics teacher, like in a community college type. He used to wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning to teach calculus every day, not just for me, but for my classmates as well. They used to come on their bikes to come to our house. So he was an outstanding teacher, and I always wanted to be like my dad. So I had, after my 12th grade, I had an opportunity to go to mechanical engineering or statistics. And he told me, statistics has a future in it. You should go into that. Because I love mathematics, I love the applications. So he said I should go to statistics. And in fact, I got an opportunity to go to the Indian Statistical Institute, which is a premier institute in India. And the thing is that they only select about 25 students across India, billions of people, only 25 students a year to go to bachelor's degree. And they would actually, no tuition, they would pay us a stipend, 100 rupees a month. My dorm used to be 10 rupees a month at that time. And so I went there. I loved statistics. I still love statistics. And I was very glad I went into statistics because my wife can tell you I can't fix a doorknob or anything. So I would not have made a good mechanical engineer. But I loved, that's how I got into statistics. But I should wrap up the story by saying, after I finished my bachelor's and master's at Indian Statistical Institute, I came to Iowa State to do my PhD. That's the Mecca for statistics. And then I went to NC State, which is the best statistics program in the world, to be an assistant professor. And then I moved all the way up to being the department head for 8 years there. And then that also led me to be the president of the American Statistical Association in 2010. But to wrap up the story, my dad came over to visit in the 90s. And that's when he told me, Sastry, I asked you to be in statistics because I couldn't afford to send you to mechanical engineering. Because we had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. My oldest brother was an electrical engineer. And then my second brother, older brother, was in physics. My oldest sister was in education. And so me and then my younger sister was in school still. So for his salary, he could not be able to send me to mechanical engineering. And in fact, I came to US with $20 in my pocket. And he actually had to take $1,000 loan to buy the airline ticket, which I had to repay within 1 year. But I never regretted being in statistics. And our daughter now is a PhD student in statistics. So it carries on. Unless you have a strong foundation, you can't build. The house is not going to stay strong. So you have to have strong foundation. Get wide variety of experiences. Research experience, internship experience, study abroad experience, talking to different people. But network. Be a critical thinker. Because things change. We got to adapt. And you have to be a critical thinker and a lifelong learner. How do you balance like teaching, research, and service? As a junior faculty member, it's very tempting to spend 90% of your time in teaching. But the thing is, the teaching is very rewarding and it is short term. In the sense you see the lights go on in the classroom. It's very rewarding and you have the impact immediately. Whereas research is more long term. It takes a long time to complete the research, publish the paper. By the time it comes out, it is more than a year, etc. So it is tempting to put away the research to the side, and you have to make sure, I always advise, write at least 30 minutes every day, because it takes time to write the papers. So keep writing, keep making progress. And of course, service is very, very important too. And I have benefited service to ASA, starting with local chapter, to treasurer, to the president. It's very important to do the service. I'll wrap it up with saying that family matters. Family really, really matters. To make sure that you're investing your time with the family. And I write in my email, I have a PS, even though I may have sent the email at 1 o'clock in the morning, please do not respond at this time. There's no expectation of that. So the thing that is that it's very important to balance family with work. And family really, really matters. I really benefited from my mentors and allies and sponsors. I had good mentors all the way from both starting with my dad to my advisor to my dean, etc. So it's important to have good mentors, good role models, good allies, and especially what I call the sponsors, who will talk about you in the rooms you're not there. So that's very important. Only one challenge. So one challenge, I mean, I had many challenges. A lot of the times, even my advisor used to say, when I said, "Hi, how come your papers get published and not mine?" And he told me, "You only see the successes. You don't see all the failures that I've gone through." The same way, I mean, I think there are lots of challenges I had to go through to where I am right now. I will refer to at least one challenge. I was the dean at Oregon State University for the College of Science. I was really, really enjoying my job. I still enjoy my job as the dean. Now I finished 7 years as the dean at Cal State San Bernardino. It's the best job on any campus. I was having really fun. I was thinking that I'm having great impact. I love telling stories, success stories of faculty, students, alumni, staff, raise funds, etc. So I was really enjoying. And I had 3 different provosts during my 4 years there. So the last provost made a decision to make changes in the deans. And I was one of them that changed from my dean's position. So I became my last year as the director of data analytics program, data science program at Oregon State. But during that time, I found this job at Cal State San Bernardino. But the change was really hard, going from the dean's position to be the director of data science program. So one of my friends there was telling me that it's like your friends invite you for a party, and you go there, you're having a lot of fun, enjoying telling stories, having drinks, and you're having fun. And then all of a sudden, the host brings out the vacuum cleaner. That means you overstayed at that place, right? So the trick is to realize before the vacuum cleaner comes what the situation is, and not have the blind spot that you're having fun and you're thinking you're having the impact, but it may not be the same way that everybody is feeling. So the thing that is that be cognizant of the changes that are happening around you and make a move before that vacuum cleaner comes out. The most rewarding part of my work is, again, as I said, people success. I mean, especially we are at a university because of students. Student success is my number one priority. So always, always, I look at the student success. So graduation is a great time. It's the thing that I'll always look forward to because that's the rewarding part, seeing that they're successful. We want to make sure that our students, as I gave you the demographics, they're first generation, they're low income, they're coming from minority families, etc. So seeing them successful is very, very important and very rewarding for me. So the impact that I have in people's success, whether it is the student, the faculty, the staff member, or alumni, that's the rewarding part of my job. I want to make sure our students leave with a degree that is very useful, not just with loans. So that's very important for me. I also want to see our faculty thrive, not just survive. I don't want to say that, oh, I survived the tenure process. I want to say them, okay, I'm thriving. They want to keep me. It's not about survival. It's about thriving. So I get real adrenaline when I see our faculty are successful, our students are successful. Our staff, they are the invisible backbone with an impeccable impact. I want to make sure that they are very successful. Again, the same with our alumni. I want to see them. It's not that once they get the degree, we are done. Our success ultimately depends on the success of our alumni. So I want to make sure that they are successful. So all of this, kind of the people success, is very, very rewarding for me in my job. That's why I say the dean's job is the best job on any campus, because you are involved with the success and you are raising the resources, finding the resources for everyone to reach their full potential. If your faculty member got a grant or published a paper, or your student went on a study abroad and came back thrilled, or your colleague, another dean, got his or her school named by getting $10 million, and your first reaction is that you're jealous, then you're going to be very miserable in your job. But if your first reaction is you're celebrating, you're jumping up and down with joy, and you're enjoying it because they are successful, not because of you, not that you're successful. If you get thrill from seeing other people's success, it's a very rewarding job. And that's what I see. Every day I can go home and say, hey, this person had a positive impact today, and I had a small role in playing that. So that's what I find it very, very rewarding in my job. Every day I go home happy about that. And not that they're not problems, but the rewarding part of the job is much more significant. I'm happy about that. Quoting John Tukey, we play in every person's backyard. So we are able to communicate with chemists. We are able to communicate with biologists, engineers, health scientists, etc. So being a statistician, I say, was a good advantage, is a good advantage being a dean of a College of Sciences. Collaboration is the key to success. I mean, science itself is a team science. So statisticians have to work with everybody. So whether it is in a company or in a business or in a federal statistics or at a university where I am, it's very, very important. The collaborations are very important. How do I collaborate? It's very, very important that we are good listeners. We got to listen very carefully. And also we have to understand that one thing that is applicable at one place is not necessarily same thing that will apply at another place. For me, that was like going from a Research 1 university to a Research 2 university. Things are different. But collaboration is very, very important. For me, when I talk about rigor versus efficiency, sometimes in my job, it's almost as important that you make the decisions in a timely fashion. You don't want to make one-day problem a one-week problem or one-month problem. You have to address it. And sometimes an 80% solution is better than, in a timely fashion, is better than a 100% perfect solution in a month. It's important to get the information from people that are going to be impacted by your decision. But ultimately, you make the decision. And buck stops with me. You have to make the decision. You have to stand behind your decisions that you make. So the thing that is I do my homework. I do talk to people that are going to be impacted by my decision. And then I have to make a decision. And the timeliness is very, very critical. Things are changing all the time, right? I mean, I date myself by saying that when I was in school, we didn't even have calculators. We had something like a facet machine, like a type machine to do addition and subtraction, but there's no square root, there's no logarithms, but we were working with them. And then we graduated to calculators, to big computers that needed large rooms, to PCs, to laptops, to iPhones now. The perception about statistics and data science is also this good bit of confusion. What is statistics? What is data science, etc. Because everybody wants to own the word data science, whether it is computer scientists or the business people or statisticians. The perception change is that everybody still recognizes data science is very, very important. And why did it become data science is actually because of the technology. In the past, we were talking about how carefully can we do the experimental design, because collecting data was very, very expensive. But with the storage and computational power, it has become very easy to collect data, very easy to crunch the numbers. And now people are asking, I have oodles of data. What information, what useful knowledge can I get from that? Rather than the thinking before, what data to collect, because I have a particular hypothesis, and go about and collecting the data. Right now, what we are doing is we have oodles of data and then asking the hypothesis, what can I test from this data? So the perception has changed in that sense because there's a lot of data that is available, it's omnipresent. And we are asking now the questions, how useful knowledge can be gained? Because sometimes we say, we are data rich, but information poor. And the important thing is that's where statisticians and data scientists can come in terms of extracting useful information out of these data. But data science could be very broad. It could be people that are curating data, standardizing the data, retrieving the data, etc., are also very important things, but that is quite different than statistical inference and gathering, extracting useful knowledge out of the data that we have. But the final thing I want to say there is also is trust in science, trust in statistics, trust in people at the federal statistics. It's very, very important that public has a trust in statistics. That means we need to have people that are statisticians that are not partisan. It's very, very important that that trust in statistics cannot be lost. And it takes a long time to build trust. It's very easy to lose by one person cooking up the data just to please somebody else. So the perception of data science is very, very important, and public trust in science and trust in data science, and especially trust in statisticians, is critical. Usually, actually, it's easier to move from academia to industry than from industry to academia. It's mainly because early years, people are publishing papers, etc. And in industry, there is a restriction what you could publish from your work, because it may be patent related or private information that they don't want it to be in the public. So it's a little bit harder to move from industry to academia. But academia to industry is typically easier. One of the best advices I got as a junior faculty member was from my dean, Dan Solomon, who is a ASA Founder Award winner and statistician. He was actually my department head who hired me, and then he became a dean when I became department head. But when he was the department head, he gave me the advice when I was taking sabbatical leave. He said, Sastry, don't go to another university for sabbatical leave. Go to an industry. So he encouraged me to go and work at Semitech, which is a semiconductor consortium where US was trying to beat Japanese in the semiconductor market at that time. And they needed statisticians to do quality control, experimental design, etc. So I went to Austin, Texas, in fact, for the Semitech for 1 year of sabbatical leave, so that I got the experience of what it is to work in an industry. And the thing that is it also gave me practical applications rather than proving theorems. So that's particularly the thing that I could bring it back to my classroom of the applications that we are doing. So the important thing there is that as a statistician, you're consulting. So going to industry would be a good move, because you're a good teacher, you're a good researcher. You can take those qualities and tools that you have from academia to go to industry. The advice I would give is build up your consulting skills, collaborative skills, communication skills, listening skills, etc., if they want to go into industry. But it's a good move if somebody wants to do it. So I am using some of the artificial intelligence tools because we have data in various locations. I'm trying to figure out what courses are kind of like bottleneck courses, that if they didn't pass this class, because it's a prerequisite for several other courses, it's not just that they're behind by a semester, they may be behind by a year or two. So we're trying to use curricular analytics to see how it could be beneficial in what courses we offer. We study what time of the day students are popular in taking courses. So we are using kind of the more AI and analytics tools in finding how we could help our students to be successful. Of course, we do projections for enrollment management. We are seeing what the demographics, what is the high school population of students graduating, etc. So I use kind of time series data to project enrollment trends, etc. So the tools, statistical tools, more of the new open access AI tools I've been using lately. So if I'm not a statistician or in this profession, what else will I be doing? So I'm not a karaoke singer, but the thing that is that one time I used to think that I want to be a magician. So I learned a lot of magic tricks and card tricks, etc. I thought, okay, I could be a magician. And I remember as a junior faculty member showing off my tricks to my assistant. At that time, we called them secretary. And I was doing this trick with a glass of water and put a card on top, turn upside down and pull the card out. The water doesn't fall. So I was doing this trick, and I put it on her head and pulling the card down, and the water fell all over her. And she told me, Sastry, don't leave your daytime job. So that was the end of my magic tricks. Again, as I said, dean's job is a great job. It's a very satisfying job. I wouldn't give it up because you can have impact on students, faculty, future of science, and you're raising funds to support them, to see various people reach their full potential. What else can be more rewarding and gratifying than that? Any recommended reading and resources for young professionals? These days my reading is more and more on Chronicle of Higher Education and more related to, I read Science Magazine, I read AmStat News, etc. For young people, I would still encourage that they should read Significance, they should read AmStat News, they should read our professional journals. But I also would encourage them to read broader, because I do read more about leadership skills, communication skills. I love, for example, Steve Covey's book on 8 things most effective people do, etc. So there are things that are in the professional side I like. On the leadership side, I read. But for the young people, I would encourage to read AmStat News regularly, read the Significance, Chance Magazine, be active in the profession. Somebody asked the question, is the print magazines, journals going to be extinct? It will all be electronic. And I said, I hope not. That, like, for example, when I get Significance or AmStat News, I bring it home. And Shobha, my wife, loves to read them. When we finish reading, this is true story, I take it, and when I go to the dentist's office or the doctor's office, I leave it in the lobby for other people to read. Rather than recycle them, I just drop it off there and conveniently forget, because I want other people to read. So for advice to the young people is, I think it's important to read statistical journals and magazines. I think that's important. That helps them in the networking, etc. And nowadays with AI, you can actually target the RSS feed of the things that you want to learn. So it will feed you every day the topics that you are interested in. So it makes it very convenient to do that. And I think reading is very useful. I consider myself as a realistic optimist. I think things will continue to evolve and change. I always say, this too shall pass. I know, because the federal government, in terms of the grant funding, it's a challenge right now. I just say that this too shall pass. But does it have to be like a kidney stone? But it is painful. But the thing that I'm very optimistic is that, for example, the Senate put the money back for NSF and NIH. They're trying to do flat funding for them. So I would say that be adaptive and resilient. That's very, very important. Grant funding will come through. Some of the faculty are now doing GoFundMe for their own research. But the thing that is that it's very important that staying optimistic and continue to do work. Your research should be of high quality, that journals are willing to publish, and funding agencies are willing to fund you. If now, for example, the wealth is shifted from grant funding agencies like NSF and NIH, and the wealth is shifting to corporations or the super rich, because the money is not going away, it's just shifting hands. So the question is that now you may want to focus on philanthropic funds, or it could be Gates Foundation. It could be various foundations that you may want to look for grant funding. But I also was actually advising the new deans and the other people to think about is, like, during COVID, we all understood the expectations have to change, whether it is about publications or whether it is about teaching, etc. We had to adjust the expectations. It can be the same. So the same way, if the grant funding is going to be tight for the next X number of years, universities have to adjust the expectations, but encourage faculty to take risks in going after the high risk, high payoff research than incremental research. So I would encourage people to stay optimistic, but continue to take risks in terms of getting good results that are impactful for the future. ASA provides a very good opportunity in a lot of ways for young faculty. Not only JSM, it provides a lot of opportunities for networking, and I would encourage our early career faculty or students to stay connected with ASA. It's a big tent, and network.